Okay, so first up, we the first question is students taking some measurement. Which measurement is directly using a micrometer? So micrometer would be glad to do C, right? So that's the length. Which graph represents moving at constant speed? So constant speed, this is a distance time graph. So constant speed would be a straight line like this, right? So it's straight line and slanted one. This is zero speed, by the way. Now, an object, in which situation does the object X have a greater mass than object Y? Object X is in greater gravitational field than Y, both have the same weight. Okay. Well, object X shows greater resistance to change in motion than Y, and both experience the same resultant force. There is a greater resistance and change in motion. Both experience so resistance change in motion is inertia. Inertia depends on mass. And if they have different mass, then of course they will have different resistance. So B is the answer, but I'll check the other ones too. Object X has lower density. That's not true. Object X gives a greater speed at Y both places. That's not true. That is not true.
So why not A?
Because it says they're in different gravitational field and they're the same weight. So how do we know which one is greater? So did they say X is greater Y? We don't know. Okay.
It
Do you
does say
understand?
that object X has a larger gravitational field.
It is ambiguous. X has a larger gravitational field. Okay. So let's suppose if weight is the same, then mass and gravitational field are inversely proportional, right? If something has a greater gravitational field, it should have smaller mass. Okay? So if X has a larger field, then it should have smaller mass, not greater. That's fine. It's wrong.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, which substance in the table has lowest density? So you can check density, mass, or volume. If I were you, I would just quickly take out my calculator, and that is not quick at all. But put it here. 1.2 divided by 1, that's 1.2. 1.5 divided by 1 is 1.5. 1.8. 1.8 divided by 2. That is clearly small. And 2 is 1. So the greatest density will be cotton, right? Yep. Cotton.
So they're asking for the lowest.
Lowest density. Sorry, then it should be olive oil.
Can you show the previous answer?
Yes. It was B, and then it was D, and then it was C. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Then 3 simple machines are shown. Which machines are application of moment of force? This is moment. I tell you why. Because you pull it up with the force, and then there is a pivot, and that's the perpendicular distance. That's moment. This is there's a pivot, and it will move a distance where the force is perpendicular. Distance is perpendicular force. This is also moment. Screwdriver is 100% moment. So 1, 2, 3, all of them is moment. Now, spring which obeys Hooke's law has an unstraight length of this, load of 20 suspended. The new length is this. What is the spring constant? So the extension will be 36 minus 10, that is 26. And spring constant is force upon extension. So what did I write? 20 or 26? That is 0.7.
So this is October, November 2021, right?
Yes. And it is 2, 2.
The paper I did was a little different.
I don't know. It is 0625, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you do 5054?
I'll check. But sir, like only question 1 and question 5 are different now.
Okay. All right. But you can check, you can check still. Okay. Then rocket has launched upwards from the surface of moon. Hot gases are ejected downwards over a very short period of time. Which statement is not correct? So a rocket experiences downward force. That's wrong. If the gases are down, the force should be up. Rocket experience upward. This should not be in your paper as well, Rocket experience an upward force. That is not entirely correct. It is correct, but not entirely correct. Total momentum of hot gas equal to momentum of the rocket. Seems like the answer. The total momentum of the hot gas and rocket or hot gas have been ejected. That's wrong. The momentum here are equal and opposite. Now, electrical energy. Yes?
It says which is not correct
Which is not correct?
for the above question.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. The rocket experiences downward force. Hot gases are ejected downwards over this. Why is this right? Rocket experiences an acha, okay, that's correct. They're talking about the weight. That's correct. Okay, rocket experiences an upward force. That is, correct partially. The total momentum of hot gas is equal to momentum of the rocket. That could be true. The total momentum of the hot gases and rocket or hot gases have been ejected is 0. The moment that could be total momentum of hot gases and rocket when hot gases are ejected is 0. Well, that could be true because mass here and mass here, so you add the momentum, it should be 0. Then why is this wrong? The total momentum of hot gas is equal to momentum of the rocket. It could only be wrong if rocket means rocket and it has like rocket plus gases together. Then it would be wrong. But I still think that either this or this should be the answer. But makes more sense this one. This is still the answer. Strong. All right. Why? Because the momentum of gases, it says, is equal to momentum of rocket, and rocket contains the gas, so it can't be equal. So it should be C. Adi. All right.
Yes.
Difficult question. Okay, 8. Electrical energy may be obtained from nuclear fission. In order to energy is transferred to process. Okay. So nuclear fuel goes to generator? No. Nuclear fuel? No. Nuclear fuel reactor and boiler. That's wrong. And that's correct actually. It should go to reactor and then generator. No. Turbine should be first, generator should be. Okay. The mass of the object M slides down the slope against the friction force descends. Which loss in gravitational potential energy should be mgd. Okay, so this should be correct. And then friction force against friction will be F times L. A should be correct by definition, right? Now, the rope connected pulley system motor used to lift objects to different distances. Okay, great. Now it says, which motor requires the greatest power? So the motor that has to do more work. So in this 10 into 2 into 10, that is, you just use GPE, right? So 200, 100 into 2, 200. In this, it would be 5 into 10 into 3. 5 tens are 50, 50 into 3 is 150. In this one, 10 into 10, 100. In this one, 2 into 10, 20, 20, 60. So it has to be this one, right? 8, 10, 8. All right. Which equation could be used to calculate the pressure depth beneath the surface? Pressure equals to rho gauge. How clever they are, right? They like literally, they just switched rho in the center. My God. The liquid is evaporating, the liquid is not boiling. Which statement about the liquid is correct? Any molecule can escape and from any part of the liquid. That's wrong. Any molecule can escape, but only from the liquid surface. That's wrong. Only molecules with enough energy can escape and only from the liquid surface. That is correct. Only molecules in enough, but any part. That's wrong. Only surface and most energetic ones. A gas is contained in sealed container in laboratory. The temperature of the gas increases. What happens to average speed? What happens to total kinetic energy? Average speed increases. No, wait. Gas contained in a sealed container. Temperature gas increases. So average speed increases for sure. And total kinetic energy also increases because temperature increases that. Aluminum block has a mass this. The specific heat capacity is this. Okay. How much energy raised the temperature from? So the change in temperature, delta theta, is 9. And Q equals to mc delta. We need energy. Mass is 200 joules per kg. So we got to change this. So it should be 0.2. Heat capacity is 900. And so, can anybody guess this, please? 9 is 81 times 0.2. I think if my mental maths works, it should be like this, right? Because it will be 162 and then 10 less. So that should be this. Okay, the diagram shows the apparatus used to measure the specific rate of vaporization after the water begins to boil. 120. Using these results, what is the value of specific latent heat of vaporization? After begins to 120, convert to steam in 120 seconds. Okay. Q equals to LV times M. Latent heat of the heat energy can be given by power into time. Latent heat of vaporization time. Power is 2000. Time is 120. Latent heat of vaporization and mass is 0.110 kg. So we got to find this. Okay, this should be 2000. And yeah, so it is 2.2 times 10 raised to power 6. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Has to be D then. Okay, now if you have any questions, please let me know. Now, 16. Which row describes base of the pan, handle of the pan? Base of the pan is a good conductor, and handle pan is a poor thermal conductor. What is this question? So easy. Now, here, 17. Which row describes? This is diffraction, and waves spread out. Wider gap means less waves spread out. This has to be. Smaller gap means more. Then which row is not correct for the wave in the surface water? So in wave on surface of water, amplitude is m, frequency is this, wavelength is this. What is this? Which is not correct for a wave on surface of water? What does he mean about it? Oh, Amplitude is unit. This is correct. This is symbol. Unit should be meters. This is wrong. Very strange. Okay, the critical angle of Perspex is C. Which expression is correct? Wow. Critical angle is given by 1 upon n. And right now, sine of x over sine of z should be equal to n because it is going from less than to more than. Now it means n is equal to 1 upon sine c, so we can replace these. Okay, and now if I make it the subject, so sine c, take reciprocal, so sine z over sine x. B. Pretty easy. Any questions, please let me know. This is, I think, the first time you might be looking at it. Okay. Now, the diagram shows a ray of light in air incident on glass block. Some of the light is refracted, some of the light is reflected. Two angles P and Q are marked on the diagram. Which row gives the angle of incidence and whether total internal reflection occurs? So this is air, this is glass. So if light is going inside and angle of incidence is Q. And total internal reflection. Total internal reflection can only occur when you need to understand that it goes from more dense to less dense. So no, it's going from air to glass. What is the optical image? It should be like this. What is that? B. Okay, then 22. Sun emits infrared and light. Light from sun reaches Earth in 8 minutes. And okay, so which row gives correct information about infrared radiation? Infrared radiation would be a longer wavelength than light. That is correct. And time taken to reach Earth, it's the same 8 minutes because the speed of light is same, right? It has to be A. Now, which statement about electromagnetic waves is not correct? That's correct. That is correct. That's wrong. That is correct. This is speed of sound, not light. What is ultrasound? Sound that is so loud that it damage. No, sound that is too high pitched humans to hear. This could be the answer. High pitch means high frequency. The other ones are wrong. Now, which diagram shows electric field pattern? Opposite child. They should be from positive to negative and straight lines in parallel plates. 25 is the correct one. Which diagram represents electric current? Which used to measure? That has to be ammeter. The graph shows current voltage. Fine. Which graph shows Ohm's law to be applied? Ohm's law should be applied between P and Q. So 27 is correct. The diagram shows a circuit, 2 resistors, 1 ohm, 2 ohm. Fine. A voltmeter is connected across this. The reading is this. Reading on voltmeter is 6. And voltmeter is connected across 1 ohm by connecting P to XT. P is moved to Y. What is the new voltage? So first of all, what we're going to do is when it was connected here, it was showing 6 volts. Now we are going to use V is equal to IR to find the current in this. So voltage is 6 I and this is 1. So current should be 6 ampere as well. Now we're going to find the voltage here. So voltage here will be V is equal to IR. Current is 6 and the resistance is 2. So voltage has to be 12 volts. Now if this is 6 volts and this is 12 volts, so total is going to be their series 18D. Okay, any questions? Please let me know. Right. Now, Then we go to the next one. There is a current I in the resistor. The potential difference Pt across the resistor is V. Which other physical quantity is needed to be able to determine? What is happening? Okay. Which other physical quantity is needed to able to determine the current energy transferred W by the resistor? So we have the current, we have the potential difference. So we need power is equal to VI and energy is equal to VIT. We think we need time, right? Yep, it should be time. There's no other thing, I think. Then which diagram shows pair of containing logic gates? Which diagram shows lower circuit paired differently from upper circuit? Okay, if there is one, it would produce 0. If there is one, it would produce 0. No, it would produce 1 and then it would produce 0. Fine. If there was 1 and 1, it would produce 1. If there was 1 and 1, it would produce 1 and then 0 and then 1. Fine. If this was 1 and 1, this would produce 1. This was 1 and 1, it would produce 0 and then it would produce 1. Watch. 1 and 1, 1 and 1 and 1. 0 and 1. What all of them are produced? What is this? That's not fair. All of them giving. Okay, let me check with zeros now. This is tough. We need time for this. So let's 0, 1, 0. Then it would produce 1. Fine. So this is correct. If I put zeros here, it would produce 1. No, it would produce 0. And if I put zeros here, this would be 1 and then it would produce 0. 1. 0, 0, and this would produce 0. 0, 0 would produce 1. 1 produce 0. Oh my God. This also gives the same answer. Okay, there has to be some base diagram on the lower pair differently the upper. Okay. Now I'm going to test it out with 1, 0. This will be 0. This will be 1. There has to be some other thing. In which diagram does the lower circuit of the pair behave differently from the upper circuit? Why? If this was 0, if this was, let me 1 and 1, and this was also 1 and 1. So it should give you 1. This 1, this should give you 0 and 1. That's same. I don't know why. All of them give me the same answer. And let me try with other logic. It doesn't work like this. It's AND gates. So AND could be only different when it is 1 and 1. There's no other way AND can be different. So let me use a trick here. 1 and 1 gives 1. 1 and 0 gives 0. But here 1 and 0 gives 1 and then 0. And then 0 converts to 1. This makes sense. Okay, I'm going to check another one. 1, 0 gives 0. 1, 0 gives 0. That converts it to 1. And then 1, 1, it gives 0. So that is correct. Okay, that gives the correct answer. 1, 0 gives 1. 1, 0 gives 1. And then it converts to 0. 0, 0 gives 1. That is also correct. 1 gives 0. 1 gives 0. That is correct. So it means only D gives the wrong answers if we use 1. So that you got to try 0, 1, you got to try 1, 1, you got to try 0, 0, and you got to try 1, 0. So basically all of them, then you know. Wow. Several cells are connected in series. What is the combined EMF? So you add them. Unless the cell is like opposite. Sum of EMFs, 31 is pretty simple. Then 32. Two resistors of resistance R1 and R2 connected in parallel. What is the resistance of parallel combination? So 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. No matter what you do, they will always have less than either this or this. This is always true. Because when you take the reciprocal, right? Like let's suppose it was 2, right? It was like 2. And this was also 2, like 2 and 2. So when you do this, it is going to give you 2 upon 2. So R will be 1. So always less, remember this. Now the diagram shows motor connected. Which device needs to be connected between X and Y to prevent wires from overheating if a fault motor? Overheating. Well, it could be fuse because it would, stop the current. The diagram shows magnet electromotive force induced. For tester, direction of movement of wire is reversed. Direction of movement of magnetic field is reversed. Direction of magnetic field. The wire is moved quickly. The magnetic field strength is decreased. What test will induce smaller? I think that only 4 is going to be inducing a smaller current, because if you reduce the field strength, then it would definitely reduce the induced EMF. That's for sure. Wire move quickly would increase. Direction of reversed current direction will increase. It would not affect the amount of current. Direction of movement of wire reverse, it would only change the direction of current. It would not change the magnitude. 4 positions of current carrying coil in magnetic field in DC motor are shown at an angle of 45. Turning effect would be greatest when the field and the current are perpendicular. First of all, that should be true. Which means that turning effect of forces 1 in what row is correct? Turning effect of forces in position 1 and 3. 1 and 3. 1 and 3. They should be turning effect. They should be. There is no turning effect here. They should be different. And between 2 and 4. 2 and 4. Okay. Well, 2 and 4. If this is turning like this is turning like this is turning like this is turning. So they are both attached. I think it should be same, because here it will just keep on turning here. Here the force is going to be 0. There will be no turning effect. Here it will be maximum. So that's why it's different and same. Good question, actually. All right, any questions, please let me know.
No, sir, no questions.
Okay. The diagram shows the magnetic field due to current is solenoid. The direction of current is reversed, which describes the effect of the magnitude and direction of magnetic field. If the direction of current is reversed, so definitely the magnitude and magnitude shouldn't be affected, right? So unchanged. And the direction of magnetic field changes because current is reversed. C should be the correct answer. The nucleus of an americium atom contains one, decaying by emitting alpha particle. How many neutrons, how many protons remain in this? So when the alpha particle itself is 4, 2, right? So alpha particle has 2 protons and 2 neutrons. So 2 neutrons will be less, 2 protons will be less. So 146 will become 144 and 93. See, pretty easy. Now, a sample americium decays and changes. Yes.
Could you make the equation for the above question?
Yes. So americium, I don't know how it is written. I'm just writing it because I don't know chemistry at all. So 146 plus 95 is 241, right? Decays into something, okay, X plus alpha particle, which is 42. So now this will be 93, and this will be 241 minus 4, 237, right? 93 or 93. Now subtract 93 from 237. 144. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now a sample of americium decays and changes into neptunium. The half-life of americium is 1/3. Which fraction of americium remain? Oh my god. So 1728 years may, how many half-lives will be there? We are going to just divide it. So 1728 divided by 432. So that's 4 half-lives. 4 half-life means that I have to basically divide this 4 times half. Okay, so I did it. And 4 times half means 1/4 into 1/4 is 1/16p. All right. Now, the graph shows decay curves of 4 radioactive isotopes. Which isotope has the largest half-life? Shouldn't it be A? It has unlimited half-life. Oh my god. Okay. So the diagram shows alpha particle, beta particle, electric field. Which diagram shows correct path? Alpha particle will always go towards negative. That is correct. Beta particle will go to this, but that's wrong. They have different masses, and being different mass, it means that they should have different paths. Beta has almost no mass, so it will quickly go towards positive. It will slightly move. This seems a fair option to me. This is wrong. This is wrong. So B is the correct answer. So beta is like, a sports car. And alpha is like a truck. So if they want to turn a roundabout, right? So beta is going to quickly do it. Truck will take ages to do it. That's fine. That's it. Is it clear, everybody? All right, that's all. If you have any questions, please let me know. Khadija, can you please go through your answers from the web and tell me if you need help in any of your questions?
Okay, so I think every alternate question was different.
Yeah, because this paper and your paper will be happening at the same time.
Okay.
So they don't actually make so many papers. They just have to make one paper and then they switch between the question. That's all.
So I had this one question I was confused about in that paper. Should I take a picture
Yeah.
and send it or?
Yes, please. Yes, please. All right. Any other questions? So, yes, Hadia.
I have a question. I have a doubt from question number 10.
Question number 10. Okay. So, who's present today? Abdullah, Ayan, how are you? And Malak, how are you? Meerab, no,
No,
hello.
Sam, I don't have any problems with the questions.
Okay, and what about on? So what is your score, by the way? Have you been, kya naam hai? Hadia, did you score better this time?
Yeah. I didn't
Thank
calculate.
God.
Yeah, I sent a picture.
Okay, I'll see. Okay, yes.
Yeah, for
What do you
this,
want?
I did 10 into 2 and I just chose a random time, which I used for all of them, but I got the same answer.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
Well, this is mass, so you have to use mgh divided by t. So you can use same time for all of them. That's even if you don't use the same time, but you'll answer the greatest energy in the same time would be greatest power. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I think yes. I believe. Okay, so I'm just stopping the recording.